Hello again, everybody. Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. It's Tuesday night, October the 15th. These are the charts of the day at techtrader.com. Still on the long side until we get a break. I think shorting is frustrating unless you do it intraday. But let's see what the stocks that we followed and traded today. And there's a couple new ones in here I wanted to introduce you to. CSIQ, among three solar stocks I'm highlighting, made another new multi-year high at 21.85 before backing off more than a point. It was only up 22 cents, so it didn't close well, but it remains above the breakout point. And if we get any kind of real rally in the next few days, we could get this up towards 27. 25, my next target, 27, something like that. Up next is SEAC. Now, this is a Chinese stock, and as you know, the Chinese stocks have been going bonkers of late. Look at the weekly chart. Here's a stock that came way down, formed a beautiful base over the last couple of years, and then exploded, only to form a beautiful coil. Now, with the rest of the Chinese stocks running, perhaps this makes some moves and pops towards 8, my next target. DQ, another Chinese stock, but a semiconductor stock that's wonderful. It's had a big surge, taking it from about 9 to 35, then pulled back and formed a beautiful wedge and did not break down, holding support here in the 23, 24 zone. And the last 5 days has moved up sharply today, spiking up 394, 13.5%, and only 328,000. It's pretty lightly traded. But because of that, if it does follow through and spike up above the 35 area, I think we can see 40 and maybe even 45 short term. GTN, one of the strong stocks in the TV group, has been in a wonderful rising channel all year, and it's now up against the July highs. If it takes that out, I'm looking for 11 and then 15. Those are my targets going forward. This could be a nice swing trade. Navigen, which popped big time today on 2.3 million. That's the biggest volume since back in February when it was spiking up. May very well have began a new ascent here, but because of the poor close, falling about $1.20 off the high, still up to $1.73 or 45%. I think maybe if we follow the next day or two and keep an eye on this one, we could get the stock up towards the $7 range. OPK is a monster today and really ran nicely in the afternoon as it picked up steam and exploded towards the 1284 area, closing back down 1228, still up $1.37 or 12.5%, a whopping 19.1 million. That's the biggest volume I've ever seen on a stock ever. So perhaps it spiked up to a short-term peak, and if you look at the overall channel, I would have to say that this is a channel top in that zone, and I wouldn't be chasing it here, but watch for a pullback consolidation, see if we can get it set up for more upside. Here's a new one for you I want to take a look at. One of my institutional guys very high on this company in terms of fundamentals, but I told him until the stock broke out, I wasn't interested and I wasn't going to show you guys that. It's Canadian listed, it's low volume traded, it's going to be listed on NASDAQ, not too far and down the road, but I thought maybe we can catch a head start on it. Strong fundamentals, and you can see that the move up here with the breakout this week after the report was a strong one. The stock has moved from about 490 up to 562 just in the last few days, but it's not a big mover. It's not going to be a big popper, but I can tell you right now that eventually I'm looking for $8 to $9 on it. Something to keep an eye on for down the road. Pixelworks, beautiful chart. After the big spike up and pullback wedge, broke out again in another wedge form. We have a wave 1, 2, 3, and 4. The fifth wave seems to be underway and may be interrupted in here with a consolidation, but I'm looking for a move to 6 and then maybe 7. Keep your eye on this one. If it spikes up, it gets any kind of volume above 5, 10, 12 zone, I think it takes off. SEAC, looking awfully good. I'm hearing nothing but strong stories on this one. And after the multiple waves and a pullback here, look at the last 5 sessions up every day. Not on heavy volume, but watch this one because if it gets across 13.5, it could start to move. 14 is the top of the channel. 14.5 is the top of the channel. I'm looking for that, and then 16. SLCA, very nice move today, up $1.73. One I've been following for a while. I hadn't highlighted before. I wanted you to see the breakout. Look at this move up for 2 weeks in a row every day. Long-term chart shows a big, big channel up. This could be a $40, $45 stock down the road. Something to keep an eye on. Hopefully you get a pullback set up on it. SPWR, another of the solars that is looking well, up another 56 cents today, about 2%. Decent volume, but with the channel that I've drawn in here, perhaps we've got some kind of resistance in the zone. I still think this is worth 34, 35 short term. And the longer term chart is incredible and tells me we could see 40 on an intermediate basis, a much more on a longer term basis. SYNA Synaptics had a nice move today, jumping 281 at 5.7% on 3.5 million. And that's a new multi-year high. Top of the channel that I've drawn in here gives me a target in the high 50s, maybe 60. UEPS, I think, is consolidated long enough. Now 4 weeks. After the big pop and pull back and secondary move, it's consolidated for enough length of time where I think the next move is up, and I'm looking for 15. UNIS may have made its move in the last couple of days. We'll see. Wasn't the best close today, as it reached a key resistance level at about the 375.77 zone and backed off. So let's see if we can get a move through that area, because I'm looking for 4.25.5 next, and then beyond that 6 or 7. But my people are telling me longer term they're looking for a lot more. The VIPS is the last one for today. This stock has been just fantastic all year. We made a nice swing on it here and there. Now it's consolidating again. Notice the multiple highs around 71, 1.5. Today's high, 71.80, has a new nominal high. But I'm thinking the stock makes it up much higher. Eventually we'll move up towards 80 and then 90 or better. Keep your eye on this one. That looks like a good possibility right there. And that's it for tonight. I'll see you in the trading room tomorrow. Good night, folks.